This post-match report is proudly brought to you by Complete Sports Management, more footy, less admin, and Stat Guru, when numbers matter.
Hello everybody and welcome to Watmore Park. My name is Matthew Donald and the game between Fitzroy and St Mary's has just finished. Fitzroy, with a blistering last quarter, ended up winning the game 13-4-82 to 8-6-54. I'm here with two of St Mary's finest, Greg Hanlon, the coach, and Curtis Taplin, the captain. I'll speak to Greg first. Greg, it was a very good first three quarters, particularly the third term from St Mary's, but a bit of a disappointing end.
Yeah, look, I thought the boys done a great job today with their pressure and run. And that last 10 minutes, or that 10-minute patch in the last quarter, that hurt us. And then, so we come back in that last 5 minutes. But at this level of footy, you can't drop off for 10 minutes. You've got to play the whole game through. So, but we'll learn from it. And it was a good lesson today for the boys. And we've got a couple of games to go before the finals. So I think we'll get ourselves ready for that.
It was the third term was very impressive, but I thought across the first three quarters you really hung in there well, and you were actually on top for the most part of it. Considering Fitzroy are on top of the ladder and have only lost the one game to you guys this season, to back it up with a repeat performance must be very encouraging.
Oh yeah, look, their attack on the ball was fantastic from St Mary's. Probably we didn't capitalise enough with our inside 50s. We let the ball come out of our forward line a little bit too easy. Probably made a few errors with our skill executions of handball and kicking. But all in all, the boys continue to do what I like them to do, and that's run and carry.
One of your finest performers today was Nick Barrow in the ruck. Yeah. He was very good all day, as was Joel Randall in defence. You must have been happy with the way they played, particularly Nick.
Really happy. Look, Nick's been in pretty good form for the last couple of weeks. And today he really gave our mids first use of the ball with his ruck work. He's quite good with the tap ruck work with his hand. Joel Randall and Ryan Boquette, our centre-half back and full-back, both were probably our best two players today on the ground. Really done a great job with defending, marking and setting up attacks. Quite happy with those. And our midfield team, quite happy with the pressure they put onto the Fitzroy guys. Fitzroy physically are quite a big side. So to hold them down for 3.5 quarters is quite a good effort. And
Curtis, you were able to get the win over Fitzroy earlier in the season. You would have been hoping to do the same today. Obviously not the case, but as your coach was saying, you must have been happy with the effort that the players put in for pretty much most, if not all, of the game.
Yeah, whenever the ball was there to win, we ran at the ball, we fought for it, and just that 10 minutes just let us down. The rest of the quarters we worked hard, we reset when we needed to, and did all we needed to do except for that 10 minutes.
What did you think of your own performance personally?
I feel like there was things I needed to improve with the clean handballs, getting it out of the pack, going hard for the ball, and more run onto the ball, handball receives. You
must be happy with the pressure that the midfield put on, as Greg said earlier, because all day it was a very tough game. There were lots of stoppages and tackling. To be able to keep up with a great side like Fitzroy, that must have been very pleasing. Yeah, our midfield really works hard. We train hard enough to keep running all game. We've got those swaps. When we need a swap, we run straight into the bench and then straight back on if we need to, and the rest of the team really helps out with keeping it in position. So if we need to be a kick behind the ball, we'll keep our midfield in that place, and we'll get that run through and try to get straight out. And finally, I know it's the old cliche of 1 week at a time for you footballers, but it's only 2 weeks away from the finals. Somewhere in the back of your mind, the thought of a finals run must be lingering around somewhere at this stage.
Definitely, I've been looking forward to it all season. We just need to work hard and work on what we need to work on,
And Greg, just finally, any injuries from today? What's the wash-up like?
Pretty good. We had an injury before the game, actually. Our fullback, Curtis Howden-Sharrock, pulled out with a sore hamstring. So hopefully if we can get him back next week, that'll really help straighten up our back line even further. So all on, we maybe have 1 or 2 players to come back yet.
Okay, thank you to Greg and thank you, Curtis, for your time. I'm now here with coach of Fitzroy, Paul Broderick. Paul, you're still on top of the ladder with just 2 games now to go until the finals. very exciting time to be a part of Fitzroy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Matty. Today 1v3 it was. So, and last time we came to St Mary's, they got us by a point. So it was a great opportunity for our boys to be really challenged, which St Mary's did. They threw everything at us, and to their credit, they were really top opponents, and it was a really good game of junior footy over the day for those who watched it. So.
Yeah, as you mentioned, first against three, easily the match of the round. It was a tough first 3 quarters, and they played very well in the third term, St Mary's. They kept you goalless for the first time in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
But then the last quarter, you kicked 6 goals in 10 minutes after kicking just 6 in the first 3. Was there anything you said at 3/4 time, or was what was the magic potion?
No magic formula. Just I suppose you just at that phase of the game, it's either going to go one way or the other, and you put the emphasis on just the to keep the energy levels at a high level, and also just how much do they want to win the game. And to their credit, they responded really well as a group, and probably over a 15-minute burst exploded the game open and kicked nearly 6 or 7 goals in that last quarter. And it just shows what they can do as a group when their minds are on it, and they can have a significant impact, which they did over that 10 or 15-minute period.
Now, you said there's no magic formula, but we did notice a change in the last quarter, which we thought had a big influence. Ben Young in the ruck, hadn't rucked all day, but you put him in for about 10 minutes in that last quarter, and that 10 minutes you really got on top. And he hasn't played a lot of footy in the last month, so to have another option to go through the ruck must be a very nice ace to have up the sleeve.
Yeah, it is. I mean, Ben's 100th game today as well, which was a milestone for him. And we threw him sort of in the ruck there that first 10 minutes, and he did have a significant impact in the game and got over the top of their young bloke and gave us a bit of first use in the ruck. And then that obviously got us going a bit. So, no, he's a good young fella, and he's missed a bit of footy the last month, but it's great to have him back involved the last 2 weeks.
Once again, you find new and different avenues to goal. This week it was Max Keith who kicked 5. You always seem to have someone that just bobs up and kicks 4 or 5 every week. There's not always the same player, and that will also save you a lot of headaches in the coach's box.
It does. I mean, look, Keithy's an unusual type of player. He has a unique kicking style, but he finds a goal. He's got a unique ability as a forward just to find that space, and when he does get an opportunity, he makes it generally count. And today was his day where he kicked those 5 goals, and it just gives us another variation to the forward half. And next week it might not be his day, but today was, and he's been really good, Keith. He's a bottom age player and has come up into the Colts 1 team this year and consolidated his place, and he's an important part of our forward line, so it's been good. I'm
just going to mention some of the names that you didn't have playing today: Minahan, Howe, Peterson, Grace, and of course young Josh Broderick. It just goes to show the amount of depth and the host of talent you have in your side, to have all those players out and to still be able to get over the top of a team that's third on the ladder.
Yeah, it's just balancing. A couple of those boys have got TAC commitments in school football. So, and then young Luke Minahan, unfortunately, against Burundara, got concussion, and we had to give him the week off this week as he's recovering from that. It was quite severe. So, which has been, and then the fourth one. So Paddy and Josh are school footy. Luke's injured, and then Joel Grace will probably go back to TAC footy now, and we won't have him for the rest of the year. But look, it's a luxury, I suppose, to have those boys sitting there. But the reality will be when we come and get them back, it doesn't mean you're going to win. It doesn't mean that suddenly you are going to dominate games by having those players in there. They've got to adjust to the game, the tempo, and play their role for the side. So it's going to be a really good finals campaign, I think, with Ivanhoe, St Mary's, and probably Park Orchard. So.
Just on the finals campaign, as you mentioned, it's only 2 weeks away now. You're still on top of the ladder. How do you get the players to continue to focus on the task at hand? Because when you get close to the finals, it must be something that slowly creeps into their minds and must get them excited.
Yeah, it is. I mean, definitely the weather will start to pick up shortly, and that the spring air will start to come through, and the bit warmer conditions, so which adds to the whole occasion of coming into finals. So, but look, we'll play Camberwell next week, and then we've got Ivanhoe the last home and away game, which will be a really good contest. So, we've just got to make sure, I suppose, now we consolidate the group and try and get us as settled as we can be coming into the last stretch of the year.
And just finally, you mentioned Luke missed today through concussion. How will he be looking at playing next week? And also, were there any other injuries to come out of today?
No, touch wood, everyone was fine today. Lukey will have to go through a process through the week. So he ran on Friday, which was good. He ticked that particular step off. We hope to train Tuesday night and for him to have a run, but no physical contact. And then hopefully he might be able to do some physical contact on the Friday. And if he gets through that, then possibility of selection for the Camberwell game. However, if there's any hint of uncertainty there with Lukey, we need to be careful with him and manage him well for the following week.
I hate to put you on the spot, but if you give it a percentage of probability of Luke lining up next week?
Yeah, not sure, Matty. At this stage, he's progressing well, so we'll just have to wait and see how he goes Tuesday and then Friday. So 50-50, mate.
Thank you for that, Paul. Paul Broderick, the coach of Fitzroy, the victorious coach of Fitzroy. They have won again. They are still on top of the ladder. They have defeated St Mary's by 28 points here at Watmore Park with a final score of 13-482 to 8-6-54. My name is Matthew Donald, and until next week, take care.
This has been another Complete Sports Management production.